Okay. So you are managing a large project. You want to identify what is causing delay to the project, which information radiator you will be used. Now we want to identify the bottleneck, right? What is the bottleneck in the project? In order to identify the bottleneck, we basically use Kanban board for that purpose. You are the project manager. Your team has done their best to complete all. When they showed it, the three stories have been rejected. In which document will you document the accepted user story? So be careful about these tricky questions, right? These tricky questions, they take it out you from the way, right? It looks like that the question is asking about the rejected user stories. The rejected user stories go to product backlog, but that is not what the question is asking. The question is asking about accepted user stories, and accepted user stories goes into the product increment. Identified, the keyword was risk was not identified before and it happened. This is a keyword. Okay. I know that risk report has nothing to do with this, and risk management plan has nothing to do with that. So according to elimination technique, you eliminated two options. Now we are left with two options. In these two options, if we look at that, if you had a plan, we just discussed this, right? We just discussed this. If you had a plan, it would have gone to risk register. We don't have a plan, so it goes to issue log. Okay. So you made a plan for it, which document you will update. You are the project manager of a large military project, but suddenly it was not, you made a plan for it. Here you are making a plan for it. So going back to the formula that we just learned, it was not identified, but now before happening, it was identified. Before even the probability is 99%, we got it and we made a plan for it. You made a plan for it? Cool. So we'll update the risk register. A would be the answer. You have the large project, you have identified, you made a plan. Audit. The question categorically says audit. So we have our checklist. Okay. We have our checklist. We made it. Okay. If we go in the checklist, it says that if the question says audit, we go to risk management plan. All right. So we close our eyes, we go there. So that's an important tip. Now you can easily see which document we need to look into that. Which document you will, the secondary risk which has occurred now. You have identified risk in a minute plan. When risk response was implemented, another risk which is even bigger than the first risk. No, that's a good question. You have identified a risk and made a plan. Okay. Okay. When risk response was implemented, another risk occurred. First, which document you will document this which has occurred now? Occurred now. That's a plan. We don't have a plan for it. You see, same question in a twisted language. We'll go with the issue log. You don't have a plan for it. So here you identify the risk. You did not take proactive action. You waited. The risk owner worked into that, right? So this is acceptance of a risk. Acceptance, we had a plan, the risk occurred, risk owner handled it, worked onto that. Acceptance of the risk, very important. It's not exploited. Exploited, you would have made probability zero or impact zero in some way. That did not happen. Okay. Exploit is actually a positive term that we never did, avoided, we did not made the probability. Impact mitigation is not there, right? So these are the risk management strategy we worked into that. I hope that makes sense. If that is clear to you, put yes in the chat box. You have identified the risk one of the seller is going bankrupt and found out that this can be a great opportunity. You talk to, they agree to give you money and you will give them some profit. You are giving them the profit, yaar. You are sharing it. This is sharing the opportunity with somebody, Ashok. Which risk management strategy you have used? So this is exploiting. We are doing both, increasing the profit and doing that. It is exploiting.